So we know the issues, we know about energy, we know about the border, we know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that, we get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America is worth saving.
I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period. End of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.
Thank you, Legacy PAC.
And Stan, where's Stan? Stan is with Veterans for Trump.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you all. We're honored. I know there are so many organizations represented here today.
You're saying here too much, but you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down. First of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes, great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for Trump and Legacy PAC. I'm here with Kelly Cooper, who's running for Congress in Arizona. How are you today, Kelly?
Very good. How are you?
Good. Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. I grew up in the north suburbs of Chicago. Moved around a lot as a kid, went to a bunch of different schools. Graduated high school, joined the Marine Corps. I served 93 to 97. During my service, I got Alpha Increment deployed to Cuba back in the mid-90s. I did 6 months on Okinawa with a little bit of South Korea. Toss float for South and Central America.
Well, thank you for
After I got out of the Marines, went back home to the north suburbs of Chicago, went back into the restaurant industry, worked restaurant jobs, washing dishes, scrubbing tables, cooking, cleaning, the standard restaurant work. Went to community college at the University of Illinois in between my sophomore and junior year as I was transferring into the business school. The restaurant I was working for offered me my first management gig. At the time, I always knew that I wanted to own restaurants, which is where I am today. So I chose to have them pay me to learn how to run a restaurant versus the other way around, and left college before my junior year. I opened restaurants around the Midwest and East Coast for several years and then settled out here in Arizona, where I started working for a company called the Melting Pot franchise. Today, I own, with my partners, both Melting Pot franchises here in Arizona. We have an independent sports bar called BKD's Backyard Joint. It's where I am right now. And sometime in the next year or so, we'll be opening a Rodizio Grill Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. For when we're in Arizona, we'll have to visit you there.
Absolutely.
Kelly, let's talk about your campaign and some of the issues you want to work on in
Sure.
Congress.
Well,
And
before we get there, the last pieces of me and my background, I am married. Been married for just over 10 years. I have two kids, third and fourth grade. They are at a public charter school here in Arizona, which is it's a great opportunity for parents that want choices. And Arizona, up to now, has done a pretty good job offering that. That's really kind of what drove this between my business background, veteran background, and my family. What's gone on over the last 10 years has sort of pushed me to the calling for more public service. I mean, that's kind of what my whole life has been to this point, public service, whether in restaurants or in the military, to today, public service in the form of, being the representative for this district. And that's the calling, that's the goal. As you are aware, my opponent is he poses himself as a moderate liberal, somebody that can be likable by most people, but in actual fact, his voting record and his accomplishments are very far left and not really helpful and not beneficial to the people in this district. And so when I looked around, that's what I was called to do. And when I pick a fight, that's something I commit to.
well, we certainly appreciate your service to the country and picking this fight in your district, because not just including your district, the entire country is breaking with our border. And I understand this Democrat incumbent you're going to unseat. He's the head of the Democrat security task force for securing the border. I mean, that's a joke. I mean, they're flooding across. I assume you'll secure our border.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what needs to happen, and this isn't about division or anything else. You don't have a country if you don't have borders, and none of this is rocket science. It's pretty simple, plain in fact. The humanitarian aspect of having people come here illegally, you put them in a very, very bad position. You set them off on the wrong foot, even if they wanted to come here. And I think that we should be doing this the right way. If people wanted to come here, they should be coming through our ports of entry, and it needs to be to the benefit of our country.
Yes, sir. And Kelly, the Democrat also was the mayor of Phoenix. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if I understand correctly, he also defunded the police.
Yeah. So Greg is what I would call the original defund mayor. In 2012, he froze police hiring in the city of Phoenix for about a half a decade, creating and continuing to feed into the shortfall of police hiring that we have today. I mean, back in 2012, we had a rising population and rising crime, and that's continued on. And the shortfall of officers for the city of Phoenix is in the hundreds at this point. And it all began with defund Stanton.
Amazing. And this guy's a sitting member of Congress now. I just can't wrap my head around it. Kelly, the country and probably half of your district is concerned with the Banana Republic persecutions of President Trump and friends
Sure.
of mine in Georgia. What are your thoughts about the weaponization of our justice system, both at the federal and state level?
Well, I mean, I think you see that across the board, both federally and in a state, some of the state races. You see things that won't be prosecuted on one side, but are prosecuted on the other side. I mean, we are a country based on law and order, and it's why you have all these folks that want to come here, because they can count on the rule of law. But when the rule of law is not equally applied, then whether we call it weaponization or anything else, it isn't American. And we have to get back to a world, a country, a state of being where we can count on the laws being followed and persecutions or prosecutions being done on an equal and fair balanced level.
Absolutely. Kelly, thank you for your time today. I'm honored to announce that you've been pre-approved by our board for endorsement by our National Veterans Organization. So we're happy to have you on board, and we hope to see you flip this seat.
Absolutely. We're going to do our best. A fight worth having is a fight worth doing. So I'll be making sure that we do that. We'll put in the work. We have to fundraise, so any support you can give us there will go a long way. And, as always, it's a Semper Fi and God bless.
And God bless you, sir. And where can people find your website?
Yeah, so it's kellycooperarizona.com. You can go on there and contribute to the movement that we have going. And if you're local, you can also volunteer to help out as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. And we'll talk again soon in the near future.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Take care.